Dear colleagues, let me present the result of our scientific work. The presentation structure has been displayed on the second slide. Professor Trout, who was the outstanding marketing scientist, came up with the following idea. Who is the first in the mind of the client? He is the first in the market. But the current situation dictates a different principle to us. The more you attract, the more you sell. Slide number 2. To implement these conditions, the technology of search engine optimization was proposed many years ago. Its main idea is that the site that appears in the first place in the response to a request for a potential buyer, slide number 4, get the maximum success in the market. The main components of this approach are based on the PageRank method. There are three main tools. The first one is semantic kernel synthesis, another approach is contextual advertising, and the third approach is e-content optimization process. However, all of them are characterized by a set of risks. First of all, the time limit is a strong condition from a customer. On the other hand, advertising services are closed systems. The standard of HTML optimization are not stable, because different versions of browsers realize some elements of the standards. Let us imagine that our company wants to increase its sales volume. We have a CRM system inside and a website outside on the internet. All the tools mentioned above lead us to the implementation of effective e-content. Thus, the best way to get to the first place is to synthesize the semantic kernel, or in other words, it is necessary to manage the process of semantic kernel implementation. In that case, we have proposed the new technology of virtual promotion of a product. Our practical work in the field of SEO project lead us to this technology. Slide number 5. This experience was approved by a set of publications. The new technology includes the following components: kernel, map coordination, and assessment. There are two ways to implement the technology: simple and advanced. The simple approach means that we just manage a semantic kernel based on situational management approach. The second way hides the more complicated set of actions: kernel, map coordination, and assessment. In both cases, the assessment stage is presented. Exactly, the assessment problem is a goal of our current research. Let us consider the first way, slide number 6. As we see, it includes three elements. The final stage is the evaluation of the semantic kernel. Thus, in order to get the first place on the internet, we must evaluate a set of possible kernels. The overview of current publication in that area shows that the main problem is that selection of appropriate metrics. There are two types of metrics. Slide number 7. The first one comes from marketing theory, the second one comes from web statistics or PageRank paradigm. We have proposed alternative metrics and we have tried to combine all of them. But the structure of virtual promotion process requires a little bit complicated metrics. Slide number 8. We operate with a text corpus that includes many documents based on which we can synthesize different semantic kernels. On the other hand, we should evaluate not only one kernel, but a document needed for that operation. The literature overview tells us about C-value metric as the best solution for analysis of a text in a text corpus. Thus, we formulate the research problem as follows. It is necessary to evaluate the text corpus simultaneously or step by step, and semantic kernel retrieved based on it. On the other hand, as at first we evaluate the documents and find the best of them. After that we check the set of kernels found inside selected documents. Based on this idea, the final version of an algorithm was proposed, slide number 9. It includes 3 steps. At first we collect the documents and evaluate them. 5 metrics were used for this work. These metrics operate according to the grammar of language. Based on the values, we can understand which document contains the most important market information. Then selected document we can use for the synthesis of semantic kernels. On the other hand, kernel copies the potential request from the customer on the internet. Thus, the structure of a kernel should repeat the request. We have found out that it is a collocation hidden in a kernel. Collocation may include 2, 3 or 4 keywords. In most cases, a customer's request includes no more than 5 words. Therefore, if a kernel includes a collocation of the second order, we have the simplest case or the simple kernel. The third order collocation hidden inside a kernel symbolizes an advanced kernel. The fourth order gives us the smart kernel or the best one. This is the final step of our algorithm, slide number 9. To detect a collocation, we propose to use MI metric. To prove these theoretical fundamentals, we have provided a series of experiments, slide number 10. The slide shows us the set of selected metrics for the evaluation of a text corpus. In the project for the United States company, we have selected a text corpus that includes 9 different documents. The table demonstrates the value of appropriate metrics and selected document for the next step of the algorithm. Slide number 10. Using synthesis procedure described in our publications, we have evaluated the kernels. At first received kernels were analyzed through MI matrix. The table with values is shown on the slide number 11. The values are based on the text of selected documents. Unfortunately, we have received only the simplest kernels. In order to understand their behavior on the internet, let us see the next slide, slide number 12. We see that they have some level of efficiency, but it is not enough. Such a kernel should be improved periodically. Usually, the life cycle of a simple kernel is no more than 9 months. After that, we should change them. Usually, we add the new keywords to their structure. The goal of further research is software development and high-level verification, slide number 13. To do this, it is planned to implement the method and algorithm as part of other search engine optimization projects in order to compare results and improve this approach. First of all, it is interested in the comparison of different kernels and their efficiency on the internet. We plan to realize this algorithm on 2 platforms, Node.js and Python. Both of them are known as effective tools. Thanks for